Good afternoon, I'm Susan Johnson Cook. This is Conversations with Ambassador Sujay, and we are so excited today. We have with us
Pamela Hicks DeLongoria, and I currently have a house in Azurest, which is a part of Sag Harbor.
And how many years have you been here?
Well, we first started to come, I believe, in 1947.
Wow.
And I was a child. We didn't live in Azurest then, but we rented one of the Harris cottages.
Oh my goodness.
And there were, which was, I guess, now called the Eastville section of Sag Harbor. But Jimmy Harris, I was told, when I still speak to his relatives, he was a school teacher from Brooklyn.
Okay.
And he was able to, he never had any children, but he and his wife and his two sisters were able to buy a small house out here right across the street from the Episcopal Church.
Yes.
And he bought these cottages further down Route 114,
Okay.
of which my parents rented a cottage. The
Wow.
first time
Now,
that we...
this is your mother, the earliest days? when
Yes,
you were here?
yes.
Tell us who's in this picture.
Well, I don't know everybody in the picture, but I know myself and my mother.
Okay.
The other two people in the picture is a friend of hers, but I don't want to say the name because I'm not sure of who it was.
But this is on which beach?
But this was on the Havens Beach,
Okay.
which was part of Sag Harbor, but it was the beach that we went to. We could walk to Havens Beach, and at Havens Beach it was very, very lovely, about maybe 3 blocks away from the
Yes.
cottages. And they had a shower, they had a restroom, not an outhouse.
Okay. No.
They had a restroom there, and they also had, there were no swings or anything there at the time, but it looked like, almost like a cabana,
Oh,
where
wow.
you could sit and have lunch and things like that.
So now you have family here. How many generations have been coming?
My mother, and then myself, there's my daughter,
Okay.
and my grandchildren.
Wow. But I want to
my
thank your daughter
great-granddaughter.
actually for sharing you with us, because we claim all the mothers as ours.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for that. Yeah.
I also have a great-granddaughter that has visited here also.
Awesome. Awesome.
yes, so-
Tell us about this picture here, which is beautiful. Now who's...
Oh, this is a picture of my father.
Wow.
One of the things that my father did, he worked as a printer in Manhattan, but he loved fishing. And he would spend his vacation out here fishing. He had a boat. I think there's a picture here of his boat.
Yes.
And he would spend time fishing. He would catch millions of fish. And in fact, I don't have fondness of fish today.
Okay.
And I think...
You had a lot of fish in your life.
Right.
So tell me,
Right.
you know, when we get this letter, we received a letter from the Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation saying that we are now historically designated as an African American community. What did you feel like when you received that?
Well, I felt very proud, and I began to think of something that this was a place that I could come, and I could feel very comfortable. I was comfortable in the town. I was comfortable on the beach. You know, I didn't think there was anything that I couldn't do in this town.
Right.
Even though I recognized that there was still, you know, some prejudice around, but growing up, I just felt very comfortable
And very safe here.
I'm very safe here. I could ride my bike
Okay.
all over town,
Right.
and that was pleasurable.
Were you
we
here
used to
before
walk
the
in-
streets were paved, or was
Yes.
you were
Oh,
here then?
yeah.
Okay. So what was a highlight for you as a child and then as an adult, you know, bringing your family out? What's a highlight for you?
The highlight is I could leave my job, I was a school teacher,
Okay.
and I would bring my children out here the end of June, and I would stay all summer.
Wow. Wow.
And they had the freedom that I had
Yes.
out here,
Yes.
that they went to park school with the other children,
Yes.
and they had friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they went from one house to the
Yeah,
next.
that's exactly. And the
Which
beach was always.
Yes, and the beach.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little routine. They went to park school in the morning, and then they came home for lunch, and they spent the afternoon on the beach.
So the new generations coming in, some are not keeping the homes of their parents and grandparents, but for the new generations coming in who are making Sag Harbor their home or second home, what would you say to them? What's important for them to know about this?
This is their heritage, and we can't let that go.
Right.
And I'm fortunate that I do have grandsons, mostly grandsons, one great-granddaughter. But some of them are interested, and that's important.
Yes, it is.
You know, because you can't control that.
Right.
The kids move on, and they go any place in the world today.
Yes.
And maybe they find a place they like better.
Exactly.
But if you're fortunate to have at least one or two
Right.
that's interested in keeping the family home, you know, they can change it.
Exactly.
They can make it anything,
Exactly.
you know, that they want.
Both my sons come out, so the oldest one I know really loves it. He lived here for a month this summer. I said, if one of you doesn't want to have it, then make sure, like, let the other one buy you out. But
Right.
try to keep it in the
To
next
keep it in the
generation. Yeah,
family.
definitely. So what are you hopeful about for America?
Peace.
That we can be at peace?
We can be at peace.
Okay, in terms
There's
of,
so many, there's so much that's going on with the administration and everything that I just hope that we can be at peace with people.
what would
People
you,
are the same
Yeah.
all over, and they want the same thing for their kids.
and they don't want to be divided. We want to be the United States
Right, of America.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you
definitely.
look at each generation, you look at each group of people, if you look back historically, I watch Channel 13 sometimes, and you see the different groups of people coming here.
Yeah.
They come for peace, they come for religious freedom, and they want to live with their own people
Definitely.
until they branch out.
And assimilate into it. I lived in the Executive Towers, which was a building on the Grand Concourse. So we had 17 different apartments. We had 11 different ethnic groups on my floor. So I never knew anything but multi-ethnicity. And so our children now seem to be citizens of the world. It's not just black and white. So are you hopeful that our children's generation will help bring us together?
Oh, yes, yeah, I'm hopeful. I look at my youngest grandson, who goes to Binghamton, and I look at his friends, and he has friends that he has had since elementary school,
Wow.
different ethnic groups, and he's still friends with them. And when he
Yes.
comes home from school, he'll touch base with this one and that one, and they're still friends.
Exactly, exactly. That's great. So now your daughter Maria is here with us. Can you just come
Yes.
and get in the shot for us 1 second? Come here, Maria. We want to see you in the shot for 1 second because this is my contemporary. We
Yes.
we meet out on the beach. So
Right on the
you can kind of take.
My daughter loves the beach.
So we want to take a shot of Maria. This is Maria DeLongoria.
Hello.
Okay. What would you both say to SANS? Stands for Sag Harbor Hills, Azurest, Nineveh,
Subdivisions.
and subdivisions. What would you say? You can just speak into my mic.
I think I would say, first of all, thank you, right, for the leadership. It's something that people had talked about doing for a long time, but nothing ever got moving. So thank you, particularly to Renee, for getting it moving. And to people who have not been actively involved in SANS, I say get involved, because it can't leave it to one person or a small committee. It's got to be a collective.
Now you're a history professor.
Yes.
So what's important about the history for us?
The fact that we're here, I think, is something that's vitally important. During the period that this community was established, there was a lot of turmoil every place else. And when my mom said she felt safe out here, you didn't feel safe a lot of places. So I think it's important to note that we're here and we're still here, and that if we're not careful, we won't be. And so, because if you look at historical patterns, and if you look at areas that have been historically black beaches or black communities before, they're not all of them. Not all of them are still around, and so that's something we have to be mindful of. And that doesn't mean you keep other people out.
Right.
It just means that we need to be mindful of keeping the history and the richness and the traditions that we've established.
So Ms. DeLongoria, one word to the village of Sag Harbor that you would be hopeful for. Look right into the camera and just let us know one thing you want the village of Sag Harbor to know that's important to you, that's important for us.
Well, I believe that the village of Sag Harbor should recognize that we've been here for many years, and we're here to stay.
Thank you so much. Won't you join me in thanking Pamela Hicks DeLongoria and Maria DeLongoria, my neighbors and my my friends, Azurest. This is Ambassador Sujay saying thank you for joining us.